When one talks about some of the greatest role-playing games ever made, it goes without saying that the Mass Effect series would definitely be a major part of this conversation. While the series might have ended on a frustratingly low note, there's no denying the fact that BioWare had created a rich, deep, and intricate sci-fi world that had enraptured fans from all over the globe, be it through the original versions or the Legendary Edition remasters. Commander Shepard's story is always worth revisiting. Even Andromeda has plenty of positives. However, the wait for the franchise to produce something new could be very long. With that in mind, hello again friends and welcome back to Game Rant. I'm Casey and these are 10 of the best games to play if you like Mass Effect. At number 10, we've got Prey. Arcane Studios is one of the few modern developers that's pushing forth the idea of immersive sims to this very day, a subgenre of gaming that most people thought was dying. For people who wish to play a sci-fi immersive sim, they can't really go wrong with Prey. Arcane Studios' level design and gameplay are at their very best in this amazing title, which weaves a surprisingly engrossive tale for those who are interested. At number 9, we've got Fallout New Vegas. Out of all the games in the Fallout series, it seems that New Vegas strikes the perfect balance between old-school decision-making and new-age gameplay practices. Although, to be fair, players really need to mod this game to make the most of this experience. People who are willing to go the extra mile for this title will be able to enjoy one of the greatest role-playing experiences around, where it genuinely feels like everything that the player does, whether it be a major story decision or something as simple as a minor stat boost, matters in the grand scheme of things. At number 8, we've got Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. Another BioWare game makes this list, this time in the form of another proper sci-fi game that allows players to roam around different planets as well. One simply can't talk enough about how revolutionary Knights of the Old Republic was upon its release, adding an excellently crafted chapter to the Star Wars canon that most people still look back fondly at to this day. There are several aspects of this title that can be praised extensively, but the story is the reason most people should play Knights of the Old Republic. Some delectable twists and turns coupled with one of the most shocking plot twists in video game history have led this to becoming a role-playing classic. At number 7, we've got Gears of War. Gears of War basically reshaped third-person shooters upon its release, cementing cover-based gameplay as a prominent subgenre. While there have been many attempts to claim the throne, the Xbox franchise is arguably still the standard, and the games hold up incredibly well. Narratively, Gears of War doesn't offer Mass Effect's choices, complexity, or freedom. However, the linear series is nevertheless capable of telling a gripping and emotional story. Gameplay-wise, Gears of War knocks it out of the park in nearly every area, and all the main games are at least good. At number 6, we've got Greedfall. Greedfall's release was quite well timed, coming out the same year as the disastrous launch of BioWare's Anthem. Fans lamenting the disappointing state of one of the greatest role-playing game developers would finally have their sorrows quelled somewhat by spiders, who were trying to bring back the glory days of Western RPGs. Greedfall was a significantly better RPG than anything Spiders had released up to that point. This is the perfect game for anyone who loves the deep intricacies and the consequence-heavy nature of Mass Effect's plot. At number 5, we've got Control. While lacking Mass Effect's far-reaching space exploration or team-building social element, Control offers great gameplay and an avalanche of interesting ideas and stories. The game is set in the Federal Bureau of Control Building, which is a place where the government monitors strange phenomena that go beyond human comprehension. Jessie heads into the headquarters in search of her brother, only to find the FBC in chaos due to the arrival of the Hiss. Within this building, reality is breaking apart. Control's main narrative is nothing too special, but the game shines in its more self-contained side stories that deal with specific phenomena. Gameplay-wise, Remedy knocks it out of the park by blending third-person gunplay and satisfying powers. In some ways, Control plays like a third-person Arcane release. A sequel is currently in development, so fingers crossed that we'll see something on that soon. At number 4, we've got Divinity Original Sin 2. As a turn-based tactical RPG, Divinity Original Sin 2's minute-to-minute action is nothing like Mass Effect, which might be off-putting for fans of the latter. However, Larian Studios' masterpiece shares a number of key positives with BioWare's franchise: stellar world-building, party-based combat, and intelligent writing. If Mass Effect is a complete sci-fi RPG package, then an argument could be made that Divinity Original Sin 2 accomplishes the same thing just with a fantasy focus. Divinity Original Sin 2 devotes a lot of time and attention to its combat, resulting in a deep and challenging system that regularly demands players to think a few steps ahead. Battles are backed by a gripping narrative that emphasizes player freedom and customization, even more so than Mass Effect. At number 3, we've got The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It would be impossible to talk about great action role-playing experiences without mentioning the masterpiece that is The Witcher 3. CD Projekt Red's 2015 RPG garnered near universal praise upon its release, and its expansions only enhanced the game's stellar reputation. While the high fantasy genre might be as distanced from sci-fi as one can get, the sheer fidelity and excellence of the narrative in The Witcher 3 qualify the game as a good recommendation for anyone who loves the Mass Effect series. Along with a solid main questline, The Witcher 3's side content is rich, diverse, and unbeatable in terms of the action RPG genre. At number 2, we've got Deus Ex. We also can't talk about story-driven role-playing experiences without mentioning the masterpiece that is Deus Ex. While the game might definitely look dated by today's standards, there's no denying that the gameplay and story of this title still hold up as some of the fresher experiences that the video game industry has to offer. From the incredible level design to a mind-boggling tale of conspiracy theories and corporate espionage, Deus Ex still holds up as one of the greatest video games ever made. And taking our spot at number 1, Starfield. Outside of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Starfield was the most highly anticipated game of 2023, and that statement could be extended to the entirety of the 2020s so far. Bethesda rarely creates new IPs, opting instead to focus on established RPG juggernauts like Fallout and The Elder Scrolls. As such, Starfield was always going to attract a lot of attention since it represents the formation of a new pillar that could potentially prove to be a landmark release in gaming. Naturally, such hype could backfire since anything short of a masterpiece might feel like a disappointment. And it's still kinda early to definitely describe the sci-fi RPG as an all-time brilliant game. However, at the bare minimum, Starfield is great. Opting for a surprisingly slow start, Bethesda eases players into a vast universe spread across the stars. As is tradition with the company, Starfield grants players plenty of character creation options in the form of traits and backgrounds, and this early customization serves as an early sign of the game's player-driven focus. While players can opt to stick to the main story, most people will likely spend their time exploring Starfield's many planets as they seek to build and upgrade ships, complete side quests, meet companions, take on pirates, and a whole host of other activities. Now, in truth, Mass Effect and Starfield are quite different in most key areas, and fans of the former can't go into the latter expecting an identical experience. However, they're both standout space RPGs with deep customization skill trees, strong writing, good to great combat, and robust companion systems. And there you have it, folks, the 10 best games to play if you like Mass Effect. Let us know in the comments if there's any games similar to Mass Effect that you like to play, and how you feel about the Mass Effect franchise in general. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and as always, be sure to visit GameRant.com for more top-notch gaming content. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care for now.